If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
You can also email us at twvgshow@gmail.com. We had a couple of questions come in this week on a number of platforms. Holly, I'll address this one to you as you are the canning expert. Wendy asked, does your pear butter burn when you're cooking it in your slow cooker for the pear butter preparation for canning?
No, but...
what would be why would it, from the experience, why would the pear butter be burning in the slow cooker?
One is, like, I don't add any sugar to my pear butter because it cooks down for so long that the natural sugars enhance themselves, essentially. So there's that. Also, you have to watch it. So, like...
It's not a turn it on, walk away, come back in 12 hours from work, and everything's supposed to be good.
If that's the case, then you put it on the warm
Keep
setting.
warm.
Right. So you kind of have to do this at a time where maybe you are going to go to work, but you're not going to go grocery shopping after work and watch the kids' soccer game. Like, you're going to do a time where you're going to go to work, come back, and then maybe overnight you're going to leave a little bit higher.
It's kind of like smoking meat that you kind of got to be around to monitor it, to check on it, baby it a little bit.
Right. If it's also if it's burning because maybe it's lost a lot of water, and now it's ready to can, so maybe you're overcooking.
But now, whenever you process the pear butter, you want to not leave the lid on.
No, you want to vent the lid somehow. So either offset it, take some tin foil, make like little tin foil tents for it, so that you can offset the lid.
It vents out.
It vents out, right.
Let's see, another question we had is, could you add stock cubes to the salsa before water bathing it, or is it better to do that when you're using it before you eat it or in another dish? Thank you so much. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. I don't know.
I mean, the question makes sense.
No.
Okay.
The question makes sense.
Okay.
But I don't know why you're adding stock to your salsa.
Okay.
Not sure what that's about, but that's okay. So what you would want to do is, if you want to add a stock cube to your salsa for whatever reason, or maybe some sort of stock flavor, you do that after you can your salsa. So you can your salsa
prior to consuming it.
Okay. Yep. So you can your salsa, then you would add this stock to it after you open it, after it's been shelved.
And this is the procedure on any canning item. You add your seasonings at the time of meal preparation, not in the jar prior to canning. I mean, that's a standard rule.
I don't know. No, because that's not what's going on.
Okay.
If you're making salsa, you can add seasonings.
But you need to be the raw ingredient. You don't need to add the salsa's the package.
Right.
But that has the emulsifiers in it.
Right. So you want to add, like, say you're making salsa, you want to add like cilantro, but pure cilantro, or garlic with pure garlic, not like a mix.
Right, and that's where people have issues when they use
like
those.
When you go to the grocery store and you look and see all those packets in the baking aisle or cooking aisle.
Keep walking.
Yeah, keep walking. Go to the pure spices themselves.
Okay. Another question here. Jennifer wants to know, growing okra, she also grows climless, spineless okra, as we do. Do you strip the bottom leaves of your okra so it shoots up, or do you let it bush out normally? Now, we are successful at growing okra here in the Milwaukee area. We don't grow it prolifically because Holly doesn't like it. We have dehydrated it, and that does take a lot of the sliminess that okra is known for out of the harvest, or out of the spear, the okra itself. We grow 2 or 3 plants a year just to grow it and have a little bit to eat. We do not trim anything of the plant. Now, this is something, down in the southern parts of the United States, Mississippi, Alabama, those places, you can see photographs of okra 8, 9, 10 foot tall and have 20 or 30 or 60 okra pods ready to harvest off of them daily, it seems like. Ours gets, last year we had some get 5 foot tall. This year they're about 3 foot tall. Of course, we're growing them in the same spot in which they were last year, so we found out to be a no-no. We don't trim, we don't touch, we just let it grow. Now, with this suggestion that may encourage more leaf structure at the top of the plant, which would
that makes sense.
Put more fruit and flowers on it, and that's something that we can certainly look into for the upcoming next year.
There's really nothing wrong with that thought. It makes a lot of sense.
It cleans up the bottom, adds more air circulation, and puts the more vertical growth on the plant, which, like a tomato, if you trim the bottom, you're going to stimulate a lot more growth tips, can potentially put on more flowers, which will put on more fruit. So that's something of that nature.
I had a question.
Yeah, real quick.
From a coworker.
Yes.
They want to know if they don't want to deal with their tomatoes anymore for the season, do they pull them out? What do they do? Do they have to pull them out? How do they kill them?
The tomato plants? Yeah, just pull them out. If they are diseased, throw them away. If they're not diseased, which most of them will be, you can go and throw them in the trash. If they're not diseased, put them in the compost pile. Don't leave them in the garden. If they do have any disease, a lot of the coldness over the winter will kill those diseases. But get them out of the garden. Disease, throw them away. Clean, compost them. So, yeah, that's the best way to go about doing it. You're always welcome to ask us a question via email, twvgshow@gmail.com. The question come in, I recently watched a video of yours on your website when you harvested yacons last year. The roots or the tubers were incredibly large. What fertilizer did you use for those? Now, yacons are a root crop from South America. They are similar to a sweet potato in looks, but they have a sweet watermelon cross carrot cross wet apple taste to them. We use sustained natural fertilizer for those plants, and you want to have more potassium in your fertilizer for yacons than you do nitrogen and phosphorus because it wants that root development. So that's how we address that. Another question, how do you store your zucchini? I understand it is a summer squash that should not store very long, but I noticed in some of your blog posts and Instagram that you had them in March. How do you do this? Well, the way we have done this in the past, and this was purely by accident, for those who are still growing zucchini, here's how you can overwinter zucchini after you harvest it. We let it get very large. So we leave a plant alone, or we forget about a plant, however you want to look at that. And we let it get humongous, 8, 9, 10 inches in diameter, essentially like a log is what I'm trying to describe here. And then we harvest it. We bring it in a cool area. We put it in a side bedroom where the heat it's just a storage room essentially. There's no heat. You could also do this probably fairly successful in a basement. And now when I'm talking the size of the zucchini, we're looking at 18 to 20 inches long, and these are 3 to 5 pounds in size, okay? You want to try to keep a 50 to 55 degrees, 60 degrees, is no hotter than 65, kind of in that range. And you just have to check on it. Now, when you eat the zucchini in March, it's not going to have the luscious freshness to it. But as we call zucchini the tofu of the vegetable world, zucchini will absorb any flavor you put to it, butter, whatever flavor you want to add to it, it will absorb it. So it's going to be on the drier side, but if you pan fry it, if you bake it, and you add, different ingredients to it, it will be just fine. So that's how you store your summer squash over winter, and we did that accidentally for accident. That's one of the things that happened. That's how we learn. Thank you for checking out the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show. For more, go to the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com for full-length in-studio video and podcast replay of Season 1. Season 2 underway and added weekly. Tweet us at TWVG Show or hashtag TWVG to be part of the program.